Jesus, the master teacher. Many are ready to recognize Jesus as a great teacher. After all, he left the biggest impact in human history, but refuse to go further than that. The lesson, though, implies a bit more. The master teacher.
Deal breaker, concept changer, social order tramper.
Okay, so what can we tell about Jesus as the master teacher?
How do you bring a change? How do you bring about a change? Only if you have the power. And Luke describes a list of enormous powers that Jesus had, like commanding the winds and the waters, and they obeyed. On another occasion, he ordered the impure spirits to leave the person, and they did. He restored the physical wholeness of a paralyzed and a blind man, and the spectators were asking, "Who is this man?" And it's none other but one with authority from out of this world.
Much different power, though. Jesus actually, for me, demonstrated that it's not about power. He had the power, but pointed to care, meaning, etc. A big thing that he taught.
And what is a teacher without his own teaching? Christ made it clear on the mountain what he stands for and what he's going to teach each and every one of his followers. Of course, his ways of living wouldn't have appealed to every mind and heart. They have already made up theirs. Not that his ideas are not great or life order or peace restoring, but people likes and dislikes have been lured by the sin in general already. How do you tell a self-indulging person, "Blessed are you poor, because you will be satisfied"? They have already made up their mind what they want, and they want it now.
But this was the big point. Get out of this endless race for happiness. We are never going to get it this way. Jesus was trying to change a mindset. He was teaching a completely different approach to life.
And have you ever thought of changing your family? And there are such shows on the small screen. A wife moves into the home of another wife and immerses into each other's families and secrets. And if there is one thing that jumps out as a truth from this show, is that it doesn't work. Stick with your home, stick with your people. So what was master teacher Jesus thinking when he trampled on those ties and even encouraged outreach for building new family ties? So can I be family with you, Nick? Or can I be family with other sons and daughters of God?
I have no idea what shows you are watching or where your mind is, but for me the point is a bit different. Subtitled New Family, the lesson and the stories in this section are about the barriers that we build, judging each other, discriminating, etc. And they bring a very simple point. Jesus is about inclusiveness. He includes everyone. The last two parts of the lesson go even further than that with the story for the Good Samaritan. Sometimes those that we think lower than us are much better than us. Look at the approach of Jesus when a certain lawyer asked him, "Teacher, what should I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus engaged in his game. "Well, you are the lawyer, you know the law, what does it say?" "Okay, then go and do the same."
I want to live forever. Who doesn't? But really, do you? It's simple, said Jesus. Learn to live with your neighboring fellow humans for about 70 or 80 years, wherever there is power, and then it's natural. You'll live forever. But what is your question now? Is it, how should I live? Or you're asking the same question like the expert in the law. Who is my neighbor?
Here is the thing. Jesus played the lawyer's game, but led him to realize the absurdity of his thinking. You can't gain eternal life. And he pointed him to humility, love, self-sacrifice, care, meaning. It was, and still is, revolutionary thinking.
Jesus wants to give eternal life to all, but he led the educated lawyer to the dramatic conclusion, I don't fit there yet, Jesus. Jesus replies, not a problem. Just go from now on and do likewise, and you will live forever. How would you part from a conversation like that? It's interesting that Dr. Luke stopped his narrative just right here, and I have to fill in the blank. You have to do it for yourself.
We will never fit there by going and doing, but we can start by admitting how messed up we are and by engaging in the journey with the master teacher.